This is blunder number 2. This side is the south entrance and this side is west. And this is an open area where you could use it for like a gym or sitting, whatever it is. And what Mr. Namith promised was a beautiful view to the outside, just like outside an open window, bay window, French window, whatever you call it, the whole window. But we are connected to the outside on all sides, all three sides. Right? So there's supposed to be a big window in here. I'll show you the other side. There was one challenge though. They themselves forgot or they didn't track that they were supposed to give a window here. Our initial discussion was initially GNA recommended they'll have a staircase by this wall going upstairs. And I told them if we have a big window there and a staircase here, the staircase will be very visible from the window. If you're on the other side, the first thing you'll see the staircase and underneath the staircase. So I requested if they can move it to the other side, right side or in this corner. And we finally decided on the right side. What Mr. Sudhir promised to us, we can make it smaller to the corner and inconspicuous. As I said, we can even pull out this wall or put a support outside this wall so that we can have one staircase that is not visible through the window. And all this discussion happened in December last year, and there was no staircase diagrams for the next 7-8 months. And of course, I reached out once in February or to the architecture team, and they said there's so much time for a staircase, let's not worry about it. Now, when the diagram came in, it was so horrible. There were pillars all over the place here. Right now, you see two pillars in the back. There were two pillars here, underneath here, and two underneath here. This part to support, and the other side was supported by the concrete. So two pillars here and then two pillars here in addition to the two pillars at the corner. And I got so tense and I got so worried what they were doing. I told them this was supposed to be a big window there, and it's a large window that people can see and connect to the outside here. And with these pillars, it's going to look beams or pillars. It's going to look very ugly, and we cannot see outside windows. Not a good idea. By that time, this was all towards September, because October 1st was the project deadline per Mr. Namith. And the fabrication guys started doing it. We were unfortunately not in town for those 4-5 days, and the fabrication guys started doing the staircase. So which means they fixed the bottom and then they were working on. One other thing that we requested was no turns or nothing at the top, just go straight so that none of the staircase is visible from inside. But by then the structure guys at GNA and the contractor had done this. And they said it's too late to change. What they said was we could have moved the staircase back a little bit until here, that way it would have been one straight staircase. But the contractor said it's too late, they cannot change it, the fabrication cannot change it. The next, and sent so many messages to Mr. Namith. He didn't pick up any of the calls on this, he didn't respond to any of the messages. And Mr. Sudhir visited, and then we discussed. He said the thing that we can do is move the support to the wall for the stairs, and then remove these 4 pillars here in between. If they were really aware of the requirement and what they promised, they shouldn't have done this all in the first place. So what is happening is the structural team doesn't know about the architecture thing. The architecture team don't remember what they committed to the client. They do something at random. And Mr. Namith is in his own world thinking that this is petty. Of course, his accounts team is very prompt. When he visits, they'll charge us 1.18 every time, including GST. So the contractor said he cannot move it back, and the turn is going to be there. And as per the diagram, it's going to go straight on the other side, but the side diagram, it's supposed to go straight and get down there. I'll show it to you. And as they brought it here, they realized that there is a pyramid, so going straight is not an option. They turned it to the right. And this is the weird multi-level, that inverted beam stupid idea, thinking that it's great. It spoiled the whole thing at the rooftop. Now the contractor said he cannot move it back, and obviously if you provide a big window there, from inside all you can see is the staircase. It will distract the view, and there's nothing we could do. Contractor said he cannot move it back or move it to the corner or have a support system on the outside. And obviously architecture team suddenly came back saying that instead of a big window here, can we put a small window which won't expose the staircase? So that is their recommendation. So our requirement was something, they promised something, and then the structure team, the junior interns in architecture, they screwed up the whole stuff. Contractor did whatever he could do to damage, and then we were left with no choice. And in the meantime, all my messages to Namith went nowhere. And then they said we'll put a small window here so that you can at least see outside, which I thought was foolish. It tells me clearly that nobody gives a shit about your project or what they promised. So they'll do something at random, and once they screw it up, they'll figure out a way to minimize how much they screwed up. That's all they do in every step. I got so upset and angry by then. I said I'll have a wall here. And weirdly, after all this happened, a couple of months later, Mr. Namith comes in here and asked, why do you have a wall here? And inside I was thinking, you bugger was supposed to do a proper big window here, and you didn't respond to any of my messages, and you have the balls to ask me, why is there a wall here? This is the answer. The reason I have a wall is you guys screwed up all this green area stuff, what you promised. And in spite of me reminding you so many times, you screwed it up. And again, no, sorry, you didn't respond, Mr. Namith. And obviously I got so angry, I closed it. This is the second screw up of the green area. Think of it, if this was a big window with staircase not visible, this would have given us a beautiful view of the outside. And from inside that room, it would be connected to the outside world beautifully. I guess that's how they turn your dream home into a nightmare home. But in all this, like I said, every time they visited, within 24 hours, you'll get a bill from their accounts department. That one thing that promptly works in India, I guess.